72-year-old widow Karima relies on her rental property for an income, so when a drunk driver crashed into it, she thought her insurer would be quick to act. She was wrong. At her wits' end, Karima called us.
It was the unexpected visitor. The night an SS Commodore came knocking at number 1 Lennox Street. The 4 tenants inside escaped without a scratch. The driver, though, suffered cuts and bruises.
When they opened the car doors, in the rubble there was alcohol bottles, syringes, things like that fell out.
And 2.5 months on,
it is too much for me to cope with.
The owner, 72-year-old widowed retiree Karima Solomon,
It just has been devastating.
is struggling financially from an accident caused by a negligent driver.
I didn't have any super. I had to rely on the rental for income.
But for Karima and her son Amir, their good deed of looking after the tenants inside that night
They were homeless after that, so I put them up in a hotel for a couple of days out of my own pocket.
has not resulted in any good karma for them.
What a terrible mess.
Are you covered for insurance if a car ploughs in the front of the house?
Yes.
We covered for accidental damage.
Yes, there it is. Big tick. So why is this elderly woman still without money to live on all these months on in a home deemed unsafe to live in?
Why do we have to suffer? We paid the insurance, we covered, and we should have the repair done as soon as possible.
Her insurer, GIO, came out the day after the crash and did a temporary make-safe repair. But all these months on, nothing more has been done.
The wall is quite fragile from the accident, and it literally is protruding over this temporary fence, and you can see it's quite unstable, right? It's very loose. It could fall on someone's head as they're walking past along the footpath.
Because this is the footpath.
This is the footpath,
exactly.
right?
And now they're worried someone will be seriously hurt.
Yeah. And who's liable? We're not liable. We've tried to tell the council, we've tried to tell the insurer, everyone's blaming each other. We had 3 engineers plus a heritage consultant come out. They've all said this wall needs urgent make safe. The council has come back and said we need a DA for it. They're claiming a DA for something that's really quite urgent and can actually injure someone.
Karima's old home is indeed old. In the 1860s, the postman for Parramatta lived here. So a heritage order was placed on it, and now a heritage DA is required by council before any repairs can commence.
So they're telling you you've got to put in a development application to get these bricks picked up and remortared and put back up.
Yep, and you know, to basically put the veranda back as it was, right?
Here's the thing though, other than the brick facade, there's little else of heritage value, says Amir. The slate is an add-on done only a few decades ago. In fact, the rear roof is tin. The fascia board too is not heritage. And the posts holding up the veranda are 4x4 poles from Bunnings. So it's just those old bricks, and everything else behind them is a 1990s makeover with no original features.
Gee whiz, there's not a lot of heritage in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're willing to abide by any heritage order?
No, we are. We want to do everything right. I'm just going crazy because I just can't believe how long it's taken. I mean, we've lost...
But they have had one win with the insurer since our involvement.
Look, it was miraculous the day that you came to contact us and we did the interview. They miraculously agreed to pay the loss of rent.
In fact, GIO will pay up to a year, so financially Mum is okay. But there is a bigger problem.
If someone gets injured or killed, who is liable?
Even GIO is a little frustrated. We are urgently awaiting the approval of Parramatta City Council before we can move forward with any repairs. Parramatta Council insists. A building compliance officer from council visited the property and determined it did not pose an immediate risk to the public because the insurer had taken measures to stabilise it. To date, council has not received a DA for the repair works.
If a car went into a building, right, What's the reasonable time frame for something to get fixed, right? What's a reasonable time frame for something to be less danger to the public, all right? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? A month? 2 months? It's been longer than that, right? And I'm surprised that no one's actually been injured.
The wheels of government bureaucracy certainly move much slower than those of the reckless driver from that night.
If this isn't urgent, what is?
Well, some good news. Since we became involved, councils agreed to allow repairs without a development application. Karima and Amir are happy, to say the least.